and welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path. My name is Travis, my pronouns are he and they, and I will be your story guide today. Today we have got together to play a one-shot of Scion using the adventure A Night at the Club, which is something that I've written for the Storypath Nexus. In case you're unaware, the Storypath Nexus is the community content program at Drive-Thru RPG. Helps if I type the command right. Hold on. Nope. I guess Nightbot's just down. Forgive us. Twitch is not behaving itself. Excellent. Finally. So Storypath Nexus is the community content program for all Storypath games, so you can create your own Scion material, Trinity they came from, all those. You can create your own supplements, games, things like that, and sell them on the Storypath Nexus, and you'll split the profits with Onyx Path effectively when you do that. It's a nice way of getting your work out there in front of people. If you have some notes from a campaign you're running or something like that, and you want to publish them, see if other people can use them at the table, it's a good tool. It's fun. So the adventure that we are playing is available through the Nexus. This is using Scion Origin, which is the sort of basic introduction to the world of Scion. And yeah, this adventure is designed to only require the adventure itself and that book. Scion Origin is available also over at Drive-Thru RPG, and as well on Roll20, where we are currently playing the tabletop of choice for this stream.
Woo!
See what else can I get covered. I'll grab you that link. And while I'm grabbing the link for Scion on Roll20, let's go ahead and meet our players. So if we could, please, let's start off with, I'll go clockwise for myself. So let's start off with Lee. If you could, please tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, and anything you would care to promote.
I'm Lee. I have any pronouns. I've been online for so long that I am used to the anonymity. I don't really have anything to promote at the moment other than I hope everyone's having a great day. And I do interviews and actual plays with Onyx Path from time to time, and you can usually find me here.
Which we greatly appreciate. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Next up, let's hop over to Ren. Please give us your pertinent details.
Hi, my name is Ren. I'm gonna be playing Alesha tonight. My pronouns are they, them, and not really anything to promote.
Excellent. Next up, Camber, your pertinence, please.
Camber, probably gonna call me Jumbo. He, him, and I have nothing to promote.
Rock and roll. And Yowzy, yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Josie, they, them. I'm going to be playing Cass, also they, them. And I literally don't have anything to promote, so this is really quick.
Rock and roll. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I think we'll go ahead and dive right into our story. So, the basic idea of A Night at the Club is you're all getting ready to head out. You're preparing to go to a night of revelry and fun at a local club by the name of Sirens. Now, this adventure is designed to be able to be set pretty much anywhere in the world. So does anyone have a particularly passionate city that they would like to place this adventure in? Somewhere that they would love for the setting to be?
The Bermuda
Prague.
Triangle.
I would be in the middle of nowhere, god damn it.
I don't know if there's a lot of cities in the Bermuda Triangle. So let me narrow it down. A city.
Yeah, Prague.
Prague? All right, excellent. You're in the city of Prague.
Oh, I thought you said frog.
Beautiful. And so, yeah, Sirens is in the city of Prague. It's a popular dance club built inside of a converted warehouse that stands alone on its block. It's pretty well secured. There are doors on the north and south sides of the building. Each are manned with bouncers. There's no parking lot, so people have to park on the street. And the bouncers do check IDs as people are coming in, and they do a basic sort of weapons check as people are entering. Theoretically, they're supposed to also be checking for drugs, but they don't actually do that. So, as you're preparing for the night out, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe two of you, your characters, knew each other prior to the events of this session. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
Scandalous.
So we'll assume that you know one another and are perhaps planning together. So why don't you, let's go ahead and kick it off. Jazzy, if you want to tell us, what is your pre-club, what's your pre-gaming look like?
I am talking to myself, which is not really true, but it seems like it. And I am trying to keep Alicia's dog under control as it tries to probably lick my face off with affection. Like, I got makeup on. Careful. Shut up.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Alesha's dog is like a Great Dane, correct?
It's a bull mastiff, but like a little bigger than a normal bull mastiff. It's like a small pony.
Excellent. And where are you getting ready at?
Probably in my minivan in the back, just pre-drinking because drinks are way too expensive these days. So just drinking some Jack Daniel's bottle.
Beautiful. And
yeah, you are doing that, not me.
And if you could, why don't you go ahead and describe your characters for us? What does Alesha look like?
Alesha is a bit of a mix between Xena the Warrior Princess and Kratos from God of War. So actually really tall woman, very broad, muscled, kind of scarred. They are from Greek origin. And they wear like mostly like cargo shorts and a tank top with like a heavy bike chain around their neck.
Excellent. And can you describe Cass for us as well? What does Cass look like?
Yeah. Do you know those certain people that look 15 and 50 at the same time? Yeah, that's Cass. They have like this long mop of black hair that should have been cut a long time ago. It's like very droopy emo-ish, and just this not very tall but lanky person that if you blow too hard at them, they fall over. But on their belts they have a tiny little pocket that looks like it would be for a pocket knife.
Excellent. And is there anything in that pocket?
Wouldn't you like to know? There's a very ornate golden pair of shears in there that I have to keep on me at all costs. Otherwise, people are going to get angry at me.
Beautiful. I love it. So you're getting together, getting things ready, doing a little bit of pre-gaming, and preparing to make your way to the club. Now, where would you... So you're in like effectively like a motorhome, correct? Like a mobile...
It's an armored transport that's repurposed for living in.
Excellent. So like extreme van life.
Yes.
Where would you like to park that in relation to the actual club itself? Like, would you try to park as close as possible, or would you park somewhere?
I park as closely and inconveniently for the other people as I can.
Excellent. Parking on the street directly outside the club is nearly impossible to find, but you are able to locate a spot just a block up, so not too far. And I'm going to just come over here and make a quick note on another map as to where you are parked. We will say that X marks the spot. Excellent. Okay, that brings us around, and we'll assume that Alesha and Katz are able to get the vehicle parked, get up to the front of the club, and be in good shape at a reasonably enjoyable and early enough hour that you're still likely to have a good old time as you are celebrating. We move our focus briefly over to, let's assume for brevity's sake, that Rashmi and Hassan also know one another. You spent a little bit of time together. Tell me, what does your pre-game ritual for a night at the club look like?
Well, I've got to dress nicely, obviously. I'm a woman of the world. So I'm going to put on my nicest clothes. Maybe I'll have like a little drink, just something small to start off with, lighten the mood. I've had a rough day.
Totally fair. Totally fair. And could you describe for me what Rashmi looks like?
Sure can. She is she has long dark hair of Desi origin. Excuse me a second.
Sure.
Who needs lungs?
Still recovering from your
Yeah.
cold?
Yeah, this is week 3.
Yikes.
I went to the doctor.
Oh
yesterday.
dear.
That sounds like a cold vid to me.
Yeah. No, I took the tests and everything. I went to the doctor yesterday and she was like, "Congratulations, it's just a virus." I was like, "Well, thanks." I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's
Okay, so here's the description I have. Fair-skinned, dark-haired, golden-eyed, and dressed in the best the West can offer, Rashmi does not look like a woman who could kill with her bare hands.
I love it. I love it.
Yes. Her voice is soft and measured, barely rising above a conversational tone. When she stands still, it's almost as though she's a statue carved in place, with an economy emotion that is frugal, to say the least. But she seems to seethe with a hidden energy that is only revealed when she explodes into action with unparalleled ferocity.
Nice. Dig it. Cool. And how about Hassan? As Rashmi is sort of getting dialed up for the evening and getting a tiny drink in before the club, why don't you walk me through Hassan's pre-club routine?
Hassan, I assume, arrives pretty worn out. First takes a moment outside the club, takes his quick smoke, and then before just, I assume, calmly entering the club.
Excellent. And can you give me a brief overview of Hassan's appearance?
He's a pretty clean shape. He's pretty clean shaven. Wait. He's basically looks a bit short black hair with a pretty nice clothing, almost suit, but not quite. Clean shaven and looks a combination of Asian and Iraq. A combination of Asian and American.
Okay.
I guess is the best way I can describe him.
That's fair. Rock and roll. So yeah, you kind of beeline to the club, not really doing a whole lot of drinking beforehand. But sure enough, the four of you sort of arrive at the doors almost simultaneously, as if it were kismet. When you get there, there's a pair of security guards out front. They're fairly, they're dressed in, they got hats on because it's, the street lights are pretty bright. There's kind of a lot of traffic, a lot of flashing lights. So they got some hats on that kind of cover the brims of their eyes a bit. And they're otherwise wearing just black shirts that say security across the chest and blue jeans. They give you kind of a cursory sort of pat down as you go in. They seem relatively uninterested, blasé. Basically, as long as you're not walking in carrying like a hand cannon or a machete, they don't really care. And they wave you in after paying a nominal cover fee.
$3.99.
As you step into the club, there's the first area is immediately like a coat check. Is there anything that you are going to leave at the coat check?
No.
I drop my now empty bottle of Jack Daniels and just put it on the thing and just tap my dog on the back and just walk in.
Just
That
the
dog is
entire
in the
bottle.
club.
Bah.
They
Okay.
allow your dog in this place? Oh my god.
Yeah, they will probably stop you about the dog and
Yes.
and ask.
Yeah.
You know, we don't normally allow pets in here.
It's a support animal. And I just look them dead in the eye without blinking and like trying to convey like, try and stop me.
Excellent. They just kind of look at one another, shrug, and wave you in. They don't appear to be too concerned with rules and regulations as long as everybody's having a grand old time.
So you know the scenes, those scenes in movies where like the crew goes through the coat check and there's like 8,000 guns pour out of their coat pockets. We're gonna do that, but it's gonna be like hard candy. So like, oh, here's the Werther's Originals, and here's the Starlight Peppermints.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah,
Candy.
and then oh, here's some more. Those are some licorice. You can go ahead and take what you need, and then just leave them with like a huge pile of candy on the counter.
I love it. As you're like about 2/3 of the way through emptying your pockets, the lady working the coat check reaches down and pulls out like a plastic bag and just starts scooping everything into this plastic bag to keep an eye, keep it all in one place. And with that, you all, is there anything, I guess, that that Cass or Hassan are leaving with coat check?
Uh,
No, I keep everything on me. I'm just very lightly clothed anyway. I just got my wallet, got my phone, got my scissors that are very just tucked into my clothing so that they wouldn't notice. And this is gonna go well. I think I have a premonition that says it's gonna go very well.
Excellent. And when you are in the, though you couldn't really hear it outside with all the traffic, as soon as you step into the coat check area, you definitely hear the kind of telltale of the club. But when you open the door going into the main hall, it gets remarkably louder. The sound insulation in this dance room must be quite impressive because it is absurdly loud. Laser lights everywhere. The bass sort of rattles your rib cage a little bit. And the main hall is largely dominated by a dance floor. To the south and west of the dance floor, you can see seating. There's like leather couches with glass tables next to them. You see bathrooms over at the northeast and northwest corners of the main room. The DJ booth is on the east wall, opposite the western seating area, and there are huge speakers on either side of the booth, providing the noise. Along the northern wall is the bar. There are a couple cocktail servers sort of wandering the dance floor, the edge of the dance floor and the seating areas to make sure everybody has fresh drinks. And along the west wall, between the seating area and the bathroom, is a set of stairs. Looks like it leads up to a balcony, perhaps. And there is a bouncer at the base of those stairs. So once inside, music's going, drinks are flowing. Is there anything in particular that you would like to do apart from just dancing, drinking, and engaging in the revelry?
Okay. I mainly tell my dog to follow Cass like a shadow, so nothing happens to them. But for the rest, I just try to have as much havoc and madness as I can. Try to arm wrestle every muscle man that I find.
As you're sort of looking around the club, why don't you go ahead and give me, let's see, what would you like to rely on for as you're looking for sort of somebody to size up for like a physical challenge of some kind?
Maybe empathy to like know like which people are like have the look in their eye that will just always take a challenge.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And then let's lean on, what would you say, maybe I would say cunning, perhaps, as it's quick thinking, or perhaps resolve or composure.
Yep.
Which one would you like to
like
lean on?
resolve, because I like it with straightforwardly and just like nope, nope, yes, nope.
Excellent. So go ahead and give me that empathy and resolve.
Yes. Okay, right. Wait, how did this work? Yes. Empathy, resolve.
How empathetic are you at arm wrestling?
Additional dice, non-submits. Yes. What did he do? Did it work? Where is it? Yeah, 2 successes.
Excellent. Rock and roll. So as you're looking around, you don't see a whole lot of people who are, I guess, extremely physically built, right? There's not a lot of gym rats in this club, for example. However, you do note a woman enter through the south doors, and she looks somewhat stressed. Panicked is probably a strong word, but she definitely looks concerned as she is rushing in and kind of makes her way over to the dance floor itself and tries to start mingling with people to look as natural as she possibly can.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. That might bring trouble, and if there's trouble, I want to be there.
Excellent. You're kind of keeping an eye on her, and you all should be able to move your tokens, correct, on the map?
Not me. I can't get into the roll 20 yet. I've been
Okay.
trying to reload, but
No worries. Would you would Cass be moving out?
I say as I load into the roll 20 finally.
You
Beautiful.
jinxed it.
I'm glad it worked.
Aunties listened.
Precisely. So yeah, feel free to place yourself wherever you would be in the map.
Where the yuck am I? There I am.
I've never seen a club with 2 sets of triplets.
2 sets of what?
2 sets of triplets.
Yeah, they're not so much identical as dressed very similarly, based on the economy of tokens. So
I didn't know we had a
Tweedledee and
theme. Didn't know we had a theme to dress up to.
precisely. So yeah, as you're kind of making your way around, Cass, you were going over and hanging out kind of at like the DJ booth kind of thing?
Yeah, I want to
Or not DJ
lean
booth, I'm
against
sorry.
the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to lean against the wall to like not have my back open. And I am currently debating, do I get earplugs? Because they are mandatory in the EU to have in clubs, those foam ones. Or do I try to tolerate the sound for as long as possible so it drowns out the 3 other sounds in my head?
Excellent.
La 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 la.
While you're sort of thinking that over, you catch, you can definitely tell that Alessia is kind of eyeballing an area of the dance floor. Though their gaze kind of is sweeping the room a little bit, they keep kind of going back to the same general direction.
Mhm.
It's a little hard to follow exactly what they're looking at, but you can tell that something has clearly caught their attention.
Gonna try and figure that out, but just let Alessia have their moments because I know what they're going for. They want to slam dunk someone.
Sure, fair enough. You're kind of keeping a basic eye out. What's Hassan doing once you're inside and on just heading straight to the dance floor and cutting a rug, as it were, or
Hassan first takes a walk around the club, seeing what there's all to do, and then tries to basically blend in with the dance floor. Probably failing. I cannot see him being a dancer.
that's fair. You're kind of doing a little bit of like shoegaze, and doing your best.
Doing a shuffle.
Exactly. And how about Rashmi? Any particular agenda, or just getting the groove on?
I am going to be enjoying myself after my very rough day and divulging most of my candy and just really having a good time on the dance floor. But I will sort of, if I can see the concerned person, I would like to sort of like move in that direction.
Sure, you absolutely do. And in fact, if you can see where I'm pinging on the map, that's her. And in fact, as you start moving over in that direction, and Alessia, you definitely notice this as well. She kind of like almost double takes at Hassan and goes straight over and starts dancing with him.
Hell yeah.
Hassan getting that riz on.
No lady can go against the shuffle.
Yes, exactly. She is a very beautiful blonde woman. She's wearing like a light brown coat, almost like windbreaker level of heaviness, and brown skirt. And as she's dancing, I would like each of you, if you could, to go ahead and give me an occult roll. And you may pair that with whatever attribute you feel is most pertinent in terms of noticing something in a noisy club.
I have a specialty in occult, but I don't know if it makes sense. Divination, but if it doesn't, that's
The
perfect.
divination would not apply.
Okay. My sheet is booked, so I'll have to roll physical dice.
You're totally fine.
Nice. 4 dice for success.
Beautiful.
With composure?
Composure would be fine, yeah, because you're kind of trying to keep your focus amid all the distractions.
Cunning.
That works too.
Okay, so that's 8 dice.
Excellent. Hassan, you are far too distracted.
Very nervous with the woman who I'm dancing to.
5 successes. I'm spending all my good rolls first, and then in the end, I'm gonna be shit.
Excellent. So, and we've got what's that? 1 success for, or and then you can re-roll that 10, right? Or do 10s count as 2 in Scion? These are the things that confuse me.
I think 10s explode.
Yes, 10s explode.
Excellent.
Take cover?
Yes, go
You
ahead
wrote the
and
book.
roll the 10 again, if you would, Lee.
Oh no, somebody planted the bomb in this club.
Excellent. So not a success on the second die. No worries, you get 1 success. So out of all of you, we had 5 from Cass.
Almost like it's my thing.
Yep. And 4 from Alesha. Beautiful. So, though, Hassan, you're just absolutely distracted and further distracted as this woman sort of leans in close to you, and you get kind of this odor of like campfire on a cool autumn evening, and she whispers in your ear, "I need your help." You barely hear it over the pulsing of the beat. And you can feel her breath in your ear canal. You can feel her lips brush against the edge of your ear. She gets that close to whisper it to you. So naturally, it makes total sense that you're distracted. As far as Rashmi is concerned, it's just too loud and too bright in here for you to quite make it out. You notice something odd about this woman, particularly her skirt seems to be moving in a natural way, but you can't really put your finger on what it is. However, for the other two, you clearly see what appears to be a cow's tail sweeping under the bottom of her skirt. And you had gotten 5 successes, is that correct?
Yes.
Josie?
I'm
Okay.
spending all my good rolls first.
Excellent. You immediately clock that cow's tail is a pretty strong indication that she is a supernatural creature, particularly a sort of satyr variant.
I'm gonna go like when I notice that, like try to look at the legs to see like the shape of the legs as well, like if they're shaped like not the position that the hooves are in like horses and goats, like where they walk on their toes instead of their feet,
Right.
like that part.
She does not appear to be. She doesn't appear to have any sort of inhuman structure to her actual feet. That narrows it down to you. You're fairly certain that she's what's known as Hulder folk. They're known for their associations with nature, their beauty, and their ruthlessness to those who treat them rudely.
I'm gonna scoot over to Alesha
Excellent.
and I am going to whisper scream in her ear as you do in loud places. Whatever you do, try not to be that bitch to that blondie over there, okay? Just trust me on this one. Just trust me on this one. Just be nice.
Alesha just gives a wide, mischievous grin. Like I ever offend people.
Alesha, I mean it.
Alesha just winks and just dances a bit.
You saw that tail too, didn't you?
Hey, if they allow cows in, they allow cows in.
That's exactly what you shouldn't say.
About that time,
Oh.
Alessia, you feel like the rumble of as your dog sort of nuzzles your leg and is clearly growling. But we'll get right back to what that is. As I wanted to see what Hassan's response is to this woman whispering in his ear.
I'm just gonna take with this horrible composure roll. He is very much having a difficult time keeping a straight face and is basically stuttering, going, yes. Do you need help?
Yeah, there's a guy that's giving me a bit of trouble, and you seem like somebody who would be able to give me a hand. Can we get out of here?
You know, yeah, I guess we can.
Excellent. Your friends, do you want to get them? She kind of glances over, or like you see her glance specifically at two different sort of areas when she says you're friends, which maybe catches you a little off guard.
Yeah, I'm assuming I don't actually know any of these people.
You have a previous you've previously met Rashmi before, but you don't know the other two that she seems to be looking at.
When she glances over at me, I go,
Nice.
All right, give me just a moment. Hassan says as he kind of awkwardly shuffles into the direction of Rashmi.
And as soon as you turn to step away, she kind of grabs you and pulls you tight. And says, "Wait, he's here." At that point,
can I boogie over when he pulls her when she pulls him?
Absolutely, you all do see that very clearly. But also,
as soon as she pulls him close, Hassan's like hands in the air, not touching anywhere.
Alessia and Cass, Alessia, as you look up from where the dog is growling, where the dog's looking at, you see a man enter the bar in the north doors. Hairless, slightly pointed ears, and even in the lighting, you can tell he has pronounced fangs.
Somebody got a bad sunburn.
Yeah. As soon as I notice that my dog is growling, I just take the bite chain of my neck and I just wrap it around my fist.
Excellent, excellent.
We're playing Scion, not vampire.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those nights.
So,
Yeah. But I keep an eye on the guy, and as soon as he makes signs of trouble, I will join in on the trouble.
Excellent. You see him kind of sweep the bar a couple times with his eyes and then start sniffing the air. About that time, Rashmi, you get over to Hassan.
Who are we saving tonight?
She kind of looks up over his shoulder and says, "My name's Liv. We got to get out of here."
Cool. Do you want me to be a distraction?
That'd be helpful. I have my car. My car is parked a bit far away from here.
Okay, cool. I'm assuming it's the dude with the rancid vibes.
Wait, who?
She
Looks
nods.
around himself.
As you look around, you see this guy kind of like, you see him sniffing, and then he looks and like locks eyes with you, Hassan. And it becomes very clear to you in that moment as you meet his gaze that there is something unnatural about this man.
All right, yeah, we're definitely gonna need distraction.
I'm on it, babe. And I'll just boogie my way over to the guy.
Excellent. I assume then, well, what's Hassan's plan as Rashmi starts going over to engage this fellow?
Wait until Rashmi basically gets his attention, and then try to keep his back to cover, like, the lady, and try to casually go to the door.
Excellent. Now, Alessia and Cass, you have kind of the bird's eye view to see this series of interactions taking place. And you see, as soon as the gentleman to the north seems to lock on, he starts sort of briskly walking across the club where he is met with and interrupted by Rashmi. Is there anything that the two of you are doing as you see this start to happen?
I'm gonna like slowly move also in that direction so I can be like in attacking distance, but not too close that I would like draw too much attention to myself.
Okay. It's hard for you to avoid drawing attention to yourself as you have a giant dog with you. So what I would like to actually ask you to do, if you don't mind, is let's have you make a I'm gonna get fancy with this here. Let's actually have you make a I would say either subterfuge or leadership.
Yes,
Because
and I will
it's not so much going to be you you being subtle as much as you keeping your dog subtle.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'm gonna do the leadership.
Puppy training
Uh,
time.
can I use it with manipulation or presence?
Either one would be
Keep my
fine,
dog.
whichever
Okay.
is your preference. It really kind of depend. It really would be dictated by like what your tactic is, right? If you're
Yes.
trying
Yeah,
to,
just leadership and just like gaze to the dog, like you keep it down, or I'll
Okay.
flick you on the head.
Excellent,
4 successes.
beautiful. Yeah, you're able to. He sort of dips his head down and takes kind of a submissive, I guess, sort of posture. Becomes less leading you and more following you, which helps immensely. So feel free to place yourself wherever you like. What are you doing during that? Yes.
Um, I am. First of all, I'm trying to like listen in on any like just really peek my ears and like just make sure that I hear everything. I'm very aware of everything. And when the dude with the horrible vibes comes in, um, my immediate reaction, which I will probably regret, is thinking to myself, ladies, what do we think of that one? And maybe I get a response, maybe I get um, an ingredient list for pizza. Who knows?
You hear three distinct responses, each of them of a different emotional tone. One, the first, playful. Oh, this guy's trouble. The second, fear. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. Stay away. We've got to get her to stay away. We've got to get her to run. And the third one says, I think you're in for a bit of an interesting evening. Be mindful and watch your neck.
I did get that already, but thank you very much nonetheless. If you keep it up like this tonight, I will polish the scissors with a good wax.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Who cares about the wax? She needs to run. She needs to run. Tell her to run.
And I probably already know that Alessia knows that trouble is afoot. So I'm going to text Alessia that I will be going outside with the perceived victim of like the pursuits to have like a 2-on-2. Like this quick text to Alessia's old Nokia brick.
I assume walking and texting at the same time.
But prioritizing not walking into anyone. But yeah, trying to ice-free type blindly as I follow Hashim, and the names are nowhere to be seen, so hold on, I need to pull these up.
You're following Hassan
Hassan.
and the blonde?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so, Rashmi, as you interpose yourself, what would you like to say to him? He's like looking through you as he's walking. So you're going to have to like literally step in his way.
I will do that, yeah. Like right in front of him and as loud as I can while still pretending that I'm whispering. My friends and I noticed you from across the bar and your vibes are like super rancid. Could you leave, please, without any fuss?
He like stops and like he's looking kind of over your head, and like it takes him a second to process what you've been saying, and he kind of shakes his head and looks down and says, I have no quarrel with you. Please stand aside.
I see, because I have a quarrel with you and this energy that you've got here not working for me. So please, bye-bye. And then I start like as a dance move, the bye-bye.
Excellent.
The vibes are bad.
You see him kind of snort. Whilst that bit of exchange that is going on.
Mhm.
Hassan, you're trying to sort of casually usher Liv out the back door. Correct? So as you're making your way down that way, you kind of notice, you spot this interaction that's going on behind you between Rashmi and the stranger. And you see him sort of clock you, make your way to the stairs that lead down to the lower coat check. As you get out into that coat check, the door sort of closes, and as it's closing behind you, you do see this gaunt, pale gentleman turn as if to head out of the northern door. Is there anything you would like to say or do, or is there anywhere in particular that you are heading?
Yeah, I'm assuming my car would also have to be parked like around the block.
Yeah, there's absolutely nowhere on the block of the club to park.
Yeah, so Hassan just says, "All right, it seems he's also gonna leave. We can I had to park pretty far away. Are sure you want to risk it?
Yeah, if we can get to your car, that'd be great. I have a place we can go if we can shake him.
All right, follow me." And just start like speed walking out there.
Excellent. You start making your way out. And just so that I'm 100% clear, Cass is following, correct?
I am as non-threateningly as possible tailing them.
Excellent. And up to and including out of the actual club itself, correct?
Yes. Also, when I get the
Yes.
text, I send my dog after Cass.
Wonderful.
Woof woof.
The dog starts taking off that way. Now, still inside, Alesha and Rashmi, you see the guy sort of look for a moment, snort, and turn and begin walking out the north exit of the club. What would you two like to do?
I'm gonna tail him, but I'm not gonna be subtle about it either. It's just like very obviously following him to make sure he leaves.
Excellent.
Continuing to dance, just
Yes.
following him.
And I'm gonna follow the weird dancey person while being very visibly confused.
Excellent. Are you following him out past the coat check and into the street?
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm gonna pick up my bag of candy as I go.
Excellent. So you all get out onto the street, and as soon as he gets kind of past
Mhm.
the immediate presence of the bouncers out front,
Mhm.
you see him just sort of crouch a bit and leap onto the roof of the building.
I'm gonna try and use one of the street lights to also try and climb up on the roof, if that is possible.
Sure. So you're gonna try to like shimmy up a street light and then leap
Yep.
over?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a, let's call it athletics.
Yes.
And
Hey, shimmying is my thing, goddammit.
I would say that probably will go with might, but you can also make an argument for dexterity if you wanted to.
Oh, I go for might. That's
Excellent.
Celestia's thing.
Muscle mommy.
Oh, one success with 10 dice. That's risky.
Oof.
Excellent. So you hop up and start shimmying your way up the pole, and it's difficult, but you are able to eventually get up that way. Getting over to the roof, however, is going to be a bit complicated because you're still probably about 8-9 feet away from the actual rooftop, and you can clearly see in the time it's taken you to shimmy up the pole, he has made it completely across the club and is about to jump off the other side. While Alesha is shimmying up the pole, is there anything that Rashmi is doing?
Rashmi's gonna try and circle back around the. Well, is it possible to go back through and just beeline for the other entrance? Or...
Yeah, absolutely. You can absolutely run through the club if you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna drop all pretense of dancing at that point and just bolt, try and get back to Hassan.
Excellent. So you get down to the south doors as you now see not only Hassan and the blonde woman walking away, but also just behind them, this woman with the mop of black hair kind of following.
Okay.
As non-threateningly as possible.
You moved the wrong pin.
Oh, did I? I sure did. My bad. Forgive me.
I'm hanging on the street like a monkey.
I sure grabbed the wrong token.
When I notice the dudes walking very fast, like knowing that I probably can't catch up, I text like with one hand while hanging to cast Watch the Roofs.
Question: do I get premonition first, or do I get the text first?
You have.
For shits and giggles.
You're not getting any like coherent premonition right now. The voices in your head are being particularly kind of rapid fire in their discussion. Like the frightened voice is even more panicked. Like, we have to just keep going. We have to just keep going. There's no sense. And the other pensive voice is more like, that girl needs help. She has to help. She has to help her. And the other voice is like, he might not be so bad. Maybe a conversation would be the way to go.
And the third one has a horrible taste in men and always thinks, I can fix him.
I can make him worse.
Exactly.
Oh God. I know to which of the three I am more related to. Anyway, as I hear the voice is not really giving any new advice or information at all, I get a text from Alesha that says, "Oh, watch the rooftops." And as I see that, I glance upwards and sprint towards Hassan and the woman.
Excellent.
And go like, I gently grab them by the shoulders so that they would listen. Say, "Look up, watch for the rooftops. He's probably gonna jump down at any moment. I don't know. I'm not here to hurt you."
As you grab them by the shoulders, go ahead and give me just let's say persuasion, perhaps. I would be open to maybe empathy, if that's preferable.
Empathy.
That's why Hassan is immediately going, ah!
Right.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
I once again have a specialty in that says subliminal persuasion.
I don't know that would apply. Yeah.
I'm saying, I can only ask. Persuasion, only persuasion, and then an attribute. Persuasion, manipulation.
Sure. That would be great. Yeah. You want to, and what you're aiming for with this roll, it's just gonna be difficulty 1. But
I have 9 dice. Statistically, I should make it.
I would hope so, because your aim here is to get their attention without panicking Liv, effectively.
Look, I know how to deal with people. I don't know how to deal with cows. But we'll see. I don't say that out loud. That's 2 dice that fell on my lap. We're gonna reroll those 2.
Oh no.
3 successes. Blech.
Excellent. So they turn, and you see, while Hassan reacts that little bit of whoa, see Liv actually almost seems almost too calm as she turns back to you. And what was it exactly you were saying?
Watch out, guys. Maybe going to jump from the rooftop. I'm friendly, by the way. And then, like, drum my fingers on both their shoulders, like.
I gathered. Let's keep moving. About that time, that pause is significant enough, though, however, for Rashmi to catch up, if you wish to.
Yeah, I'll catch up. I will also have dropped the party girl demeanor and am a little more business this time. Can I have arranged to have left my rifle in Hassan's car?
I have no objection if Hassan doesn't.
Yeah, no problem. There's no such thing as too secure.
All right, so we just got to get to your cars. Thank you so much. Stefan has been on my tail for some time.
Tail. Sorry.
Let's keep it moving. And she starts. She says, "Where's your car?"
On the block here.
Excellent. You all start running over to the car. Once you've sent your text, what would
Yeah, I'm gonna know like jumping over like on top of the building might be too much for me, so I'll just drop back to the floor and just get into a sprinter mode and sprint to my van. And
Excellent.
text while sprinting to Cass like, keep me updated on your whereabouts. I'm gonna follow you with the car.
I
glorious?
would share location if Alessia didn't have a Nokia brick.
So, just to give you a quick
Mhm.
breakdown of kind of where everybody's at, this is basically kind of where you end up as you leave the block of the club and start making your way toward the vehicle. This X right here, we're going to say is actually the location of Alessia's van. And this green car up here that I'll draw a little O by will be the location of Hassan's car.
Look like Mr. Bean's beetle.
Yep, exactly. And as you're making your way along, sure enough, you very clearly note the movement on the rooftop.
Run. Run.
So your plan is definitely to try to flee.
Yeah. Alessia, would I have a spare set of keys of your van?
Probably.
If
When you
that's
need
okay
to
with
like drag me into the van when I'm drunk.
if that's okay with the Game Master too, I would, considering that the cars are pretty close to each other now, I notice how like Hassan is going to one, and notice that the van isn't too far from that.
Sure.
I deviate to go to the van and fumble with my with the keys in my pockets and unlock the armored van.
All right. As you are being pursued, we're going to go ahead and run a chase scene. As this is an on-foot chase, we're going to use athletics. If we're because of the obstacles of the traffic, both vehicular and foot traffic, we're going to say that this is a obstacle-strewn or unstable course. So that'll be athletics and dexterity. And there's going to be a complication of 1 to this roll. And what that will effectively represent is in the event that you are unable to resolve that complication, you might bump into someone, wind up taking an injury. Sound good to everybody?
Rolling a joint today. It's my ankle.
Excellent. Well, let's get those dice rolls then, please. So we're looking at athletics dexterity for everybody.
Oh boy. No, no.
I told you, if you blow too hard in Cass's direction, they're gonna fall over.
Excellent. So what do we got here? We've got Rashmi with 3, Alessia with 2, Cass got none. Stefan
Mixing the Gus.
got 5. Excellent. So Stefan has far more successes. I believe the closest was was a 3. So as you are booking toward your respective areas, we're going to assume that Cass got to the van, or will get to the van. You're actually like halfway across the street because you didn't get any successes on your roll, right? While the rest of you made your way up to Hassan's vehicle, but have had no option to get into it yet. And you're on this. So you actually will manage. Alessia will manage to get to the vehicle before Cass does.
As usual.
Just vagaries of traffic and such, making life difficult.
Absolutely not my horrible cardio.
If you give me half a second, I just need to make a correction on our overlay so that we can see the action. There we go. All right. So it's right as you are arriving at the car, Stefan leaps down from the rooftop.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt his ankles.
Doesn't seem to bother his ankles in the slightest, as a matter of fact. In fact, what we're going to go ahead and do, since he's hopping down, is we're going to go ahead and have an initiative roll.
Oh no.
But I hate taking initiative. I hate conflict. Can't we just talk this out?
I mean, you can attempt to as part of your, actions. So go ahead.
Always worked out perfectly.
Go ahead and roll your best combat-related skill plus cunning, or if you're planning on using like a social action, you can roll that social skill plus cunning if you so choose.
Nah. So
Yeah, some if would prefer also just talking it out. So
Jeez, I am rolling like shit today.
you're rolling in shit today? So a physical attribute and what's the skill? Or what
No,
was
it's your combat skill. It's the skill that you're leaning
that
on plus cunning.
Cunning is nice. And combat skill, hold on, where do I find that? Is that movement? Oh, sorry. Movement dice, or sorry, I'm not.
No, it would be like if you're using close combat, or if you're, in your case, if you're going to be using persuasion, whichever skill you're planning on leaning on would be the skill that you're rolling.
In that sense. All right, okay,
Yeah.
then I'm going to roll for dexterity, subterfuge, trying to use my specialty, white lies. I have a thing for specialties. They're my specialty.
All right, so in that case, then your initiative roll would be subterfuge cunning.
can I do empathy cunning? I'll also try to like calm him down.
Absolutely.
I have a side question.
Sure, ask away.
What is throwing, or what ability is throwing in this world?
Throwing is athletics.
Okay.
Oh, Hassan's cunning has failed him today.
Excellent. So we're looking at a total of, we've got a 3 success slot for the PCs, and then we've got 2 3 success slots for the PCs, a 5 success slot, and then a 1 success slot, with the NPC, the antagonist, I should say, going on a 0, as well as 1 0 slot for the players. So let me just go plug that into our handy dandy combat tracker real quick.
See, it did harm his ankles. He's slow now.
All right, slowed him down a little bit.
What's this celerity you speak of? Wrong game.
Thank goodness for small mercies, right?
Oh, no.
So when I add these in, I'm just going to add them in based on what the actual result was. But you can effectively trade slots between you. Once the slots are divvied up, it's up to you to decide who goes in which of the player slots. Does that make sense?
So, do we want to let some of the sociable people try and talk it out first? Or does it seem like he is determined to attack?
He definitely seems determined to attack.
Perfect.
I would like...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would like to take the first combat-like attack and preempt him, but I am willing to let other people talk it out first.
The thing is, nothing is more jarring to someone that is definite on trying to maul someone than someone going up and saying, "Hey, have you heard of our new promotion?" I fumble in my pockets and try to find like something of like a flyer or something or anything that could be used for promo. And my brain is going 1,000 miles an hour of like, what do I have on me that can help me?
Sure. I guess first question is, are the players' characters all cool with relinquishing the first slot over to Cass to make sure that to give her the opportunity to or give them the opportunity to make that call, to make that persuasion? Everybody's comfortable with that?
Yeah.
All right. So you're rattling through your pockets and you're looking to see what you've got. You have a folded up, like a flyer that's old enough that along the folds it's no longer legible. Like all the ink has rubbed off. And
it wasn't the wash once or twice.
Right. And apparently a matchbook that has 3 matches in it that's for a nightclub.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for that.
Buy a matchbook to a nightclub.
Is it in the same city?
It is in the same city, sure.
Now that you say matches, I might have rolled them the wrong thing, but we also have another 3 slots, so I'll just ask if I can do this. I'm gonna get out the matches and the flyer and really hope that this flyer is dry enough. And instead of trying to surprise this dude with my voice, I'm gonna just light the flyer on fire. Fire! Woo!
Okay, excellent. So you're going to kind of get in his face, interpose yourself between the two of them and light the flyer on fire?
Yeah, and then immediately intend to leave.
It's because they're having a fire sale.
Nice.
I hate you so much. It's beautiful.
All right, we'll put you right there. We'll have you make an intimidation attempt. So, in order to do that, it'll be your choice of leaning on either leadership,
no,
or subterfuge, or persuasion.
Persuasion.
Right. I would assume probably presence or manipulation, but I'm willing to hear other options if you have them in mind.
Yeah, manipulation. That gives me a dice pool of 9.
Excellent. And I'm going to give you an enhancement of 2 because Stefan doesn't like fire very much.
I will have to re-roll 1 die then because I don't have enough dice.
Oh, the enhancement's not extra dice; those are automatic successes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
As long as you get a material success, yeah.
Materialism. That is 1 that explodes. That's a success. That's a success. The explodey. Roll another success. That was 3. Yeah, 3. Yeah.
All right, excellent. So that's 3 on the dice. So it becomes a total of 5. So that's a exceptional success. He leaps backward, and you see he actually goes toward kind of a sunken in, like there's a door that's back a few feet from the exterior wall of the nearby building. You see him sort of dive for that shadow.
For the record, for my fellow players, with this good intent, I am going to try to keep this flyer lit as long as possible and just push him further, like, be gone, foul being.
I would like to follow up my action with or her action on mine, or their action on mine.
Yeah, as long as no one has any objection. Well, actually, now you can, if you want to, Cass, you can pass the initiative slot wherever you'd like.
Yeah. Whoever has the best thing that they want to do.
I want to club him with a hammer.
Okay. I want to throw my candy through the fire so that it in some part catches fire, and then it'll be sticky and stick to him and like little.
Your hope is to try to turn this candy into an napalm?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Aggressive diabetes.
Just want to get in the car.
That will require severe. It will require a level of divine intervention. Fortunately, you are a somewhat divine being, so I will let you do it. You're going to have a complication of 2 that, if you do not resolve, will result in some of that flaming candy going somewhere else, somewhere unintended. And it's going to be a difficulty of 2 because this isn't exactly an easy thing to accomplish. But you may absolutely make the attempt. That would probably be athletics, and I would assume you're going to lean on dexterity, but I'm happy to listen to other.
Yeah, athletics and dexterity is good.
I have a feeling I'm going to be set on fire.
I am the hidden javelin of Agni, so yeah. Is there a way I can willpower or automatic success this?
There's no way to willpower or automatic success it. But so let me just check. You can. I'm just looking up real quick to see how exactly utilizing a path might aid you. Mm-hmm. If you bear with me for just a hot second, as I mentioned,
you got the power of God and enemy on your side.
Right.
They can also use dots of our momentum for extra dice.
Yeah, did we start with momentum?
That is true. You should have momentum equal to the number of Scions. So if you want to spend a couple of those momentum, that will help.
Okay.
Momentum is a shared pool, though.
Yep.
Does anyone object?
If you don't use too much.
I'll just use 1.
Okay.
So momentum is for, like, example, knacks or like little abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 extra dice.
Yes.
And that should hopefully do it.
Yeah, so this would basically count as a twist of fate, which is fine. All right. So that is enough to hit. The candy soars through the fire and miraculously bursts into flame as it flies toward Stefan in this sort of burst of pyrotechnics.
Try some red hots.
The evolved form of bucket ants.
Warheads.
As you throw it, he does, like, right as it's contacting him, his body flies apart into a swarm of bats. You may still inflict 1 injury on him if you so choose, or if you want to do a different stunt with it, you certainly could. If you wanted to use that to, say, perhaps add enhancement to a further attempt to intimidate him or something like that, it's up to you. So would you prefer to go with an injury, or would you prefer to go with an enhanced stunt that would then give an extra enhancement to the next person who targets Stefan?
I'll take the enhanced stunt, please.
Excellent. Cool. So that brings us to the next tick. which is also a player tick. So which player is going next?
If I may, I would like to go next.
Excellent.
Yes. Since I'm by my van anyway, so I'm just gonna grab a sledgehammer out of the back of my car and just start swatting at the bats. Like, just try to pluck them all out of the air.
Glorious. You are more than welcome to do so. However, the attempt to inflict injuries does suffer a complication of 2.
Okay.
If that complication goes unresolved, any levels of that complication go unresolved will act as enhancement on Stefan's next attack as the bats sort of reposition themselves.
That's bad.
Oh, wait, I need to put an additional die for my brutal fighting. Wait, how do I put an additional die?
It should ask you as you're going through it, right, for additional dice?
Yeah, but the thing is, it always says 0. I can't choose 1.
Oh, it's not letting you type in 1?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well,
Just roll another.
yeah, you manually just roll 1d10 after you're done. I apologize for that.
Yes, that's okay. Yes, and then and that explodes. 7 successes.
Excellent. So I assume you're going to go ahead and overcome that complication, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. And let me just look at your combat stunts. Obviously, you have the opportunity to inflict damage. And then I just want to check and see what other stunts we've got available to you. Let me check just real quick something here. So that would actually be 7, 6, 5, 4, 2. All right. So you'll have after you inflict damage, you will have 2 successes you can spend on stunts. You could, for example, if you wanted to shove, so kind of disperse the swarm further back by a range band, you may do so. What are some other options? You don't quite have enough for critical.
I'm just gonna try to like swat them to the floor.
Okay, excellent. So sort of a knockdown. All right, yeah, that would be normally that'd be 1 success, a 1 success stunt. Given that they're a swarm, I'm going to go ahead and have that take up the 2 additional successes.
Yes.
Because you're kind of swatting at multiple opponents. But you knock the vast majority of the bats to the ground.
Whack-a-mole, but whack-a-bat.
Now, this is where it gets interesting, and you as a group get to make a choice. There are 2 0 slots. Those 2 0 slots would go to the player characters or the antagonists.
Oh, also, Travis, like, what about extra dice for weapons?
Oh, yes, you should have enhancement. Correct. You're carrying it's a sledgehammer. I'm going to assume that probably would give you enhancement of 2, and I would assume it's probably brutal and deadly. So you can actually use you would have sufficient that you could take the critical stunt if you want to and deal 2 as well.
Yes, then I will take the critical.
And I'll rule that all of the bats of the swarm have been knocked down as well. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. So he's pretty hurt, and most of the bats are on the ground, or all the bats are on the ground. So now, would you like to give the slot to the remaining PC, which would result in Stefan getting basically 2 back-to-back turns next time? Or do you want to give it to Stefan now, and then Stefan will have to hand it back over?
I have no clue.
Well, Hassan is the last person.
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
Sure, I don't know what to do there.
Just stomp on the bats.
No, I'm just gonna open the car to get away.
Not a bad plan. You can absolutely take that opportunity to open the car door. And in fact, you'll have enough time that if you want to, you can usher one person into the car as well.
Yeah, just say to the lady, open the car, get in.
All right. Liv hops in the car, you hop in the car. You are both safely in the car. That does give Stefan the opportunity to go twice back to back. His first action is going to be to get up from being prone. Let's see.
Like a little bat paste layer on the concrete.
Right. He's not in good shape. All right, so he'll need to use a mixed action. It's an athletics roll with a complication of 1. And since he's trying to, since his other plan is going to be to try to reestablish stealth, that's also an athletics roll. So he'll just need to split between, he'll need a minimum of 2 successes to pull this off. So what he's going to try to do is the bats are going to try to get up and dive for the nearest shadow, effectively disappearing. Let's see if he can pull that off. Did it go through?
Not yet.
There we go. All right,
Oh, no.
excellent. 6 successes. So the bats,
How many successes did you say he needed?
he needed 2.
Wow.
So the bats fly up, dissipate. You can all make a roll to attempt to spot where he's going as a reflexive action. What would you like to rely on in terms of perceiving his location? Things like occult might come in handy. I would assume that integrity, if nothing else.
Quick wit.
Cunning occult?
Cunning occult would be fine.
Did integrity work?
Integrity would work.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I'll use my survival.
Survival would be great. Yeah.
It says in her description that she can sing to atoms in their own language. So I'm assuming that as an extrapolation, that she can also perceive atoms in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
So in my big reach, can I say science and perhaps cunning?
Absolutely. I will allow it. Sounds beautiful to me.
If it's singing, you could do echolocation, just like those things.
I could, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and see where that goes.
All right.
Success. That's 2 10s, just 3 successes. 3 successes for me.
Excellent. So you got, who hasn't rolled yet? Just is Hassan even going to try to look?
He's in the car. He's more focused on getting out.
Okay, that's totally fine. Excellent. So, despite your best efforts, Rashmi, you can't track exactly where they went. Like as near as you can tell, They flew into the shadows in that nook where the door is and just disappeared. Alesha, however, you same story for Cass. It looks like they flew into the shadows and disappeared. Alesha, you're able to see kind of the bats pressed tightly against the wall and sort of climbing up toward a central focal point. But it looks like they're going to try to either redouble their efforts up above you or try to escape. And that will bring us back around to the PC slots. So, who would like to go first among the PCs?
I would like to go first since I know where the enemy is.
Beautiful. Anybody have any objection to that?
Nope.
Nope. I just like
Go
see it
crazy.
skitter away, and I just
Excellent.
once again take my hammer and just smack it against them.
Also, I would like
If I
to.
can still reach them.
You absolutely can reach them. I would also
Okay.
like to point out you gain 2 momentum because of the 2 failures on the roll. So you're back up to 4 momentum.
Whee.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So that would
Yep.
basically just be a close combat roll, unless you have some other
Yes.
thing in mind. And again, they're still in swarm form, so you still have the +2 complication.
Yes.
Need one of those like electric
And
fly
then
swatters.
with the thingy, and that's 6 plus the 2 of the hammer, so 8.
Excellent. So, so that brings us to 3. So it's enough that you can inflict an injury and knock them back down if you wish to.
Yeah, I'm just like down, and I try to smack him into the light.
Excellent. You smash them to the ground. They drop, and the bats are pretty well all clearly incapacitated. They're kind of like, you see like broken wings and like legs twitching. Looks like they're in pretty bad shape. You're fairly certain that they're not going to be moving anytime in the immediate future. That'll move us over to our next PC action. Who would you like to hand the initiative off to?
To anyone who wants.
Me, perhaps,
Excellent.
because I have a tiny idea.
Sure, let's hear it.
The bats are still there.
They are still there, yes.
I am going to try to quote unquote gather some information to then give to the next PC to maybe enact something. I'm gonna try and ruffle my brain or maybe 3 other brains. How do you get rid of what I think in lore could be best described as would I know vampires?
I mean,
from like
Yeah,
Twilight style, like
as much as
sparkle, but...
as much as anybody in the really real world would.
Okay, so like changing into bats, not liking fire. This is a Nosferatu knockoff. Thank you. I'm gonna try to ruffle my brain as in what is the most effective way of dealing with a vampire, as in like permanently killing it with the resources we have at hand.
Sure, go ahead and give me an occult, and I would argue probably cunning, but intellect would work fine as well.
I'm perfectly fine with cunning. And that is 8. One success and a 10. Another success. 3.
Excellent. So you're fairly certain that your best bets for this are going to be sunlight or fire.
And it's not near dawn.
No, it's like midnight. Yeah, so if you want to permanently destroy him, fire is probably your best option.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell out to my fellow Scions that, does anyone got a lighter or like some deodorant in a lighter?
I mean, you do still have a burning flyer in your hand.
Oh, and I'm gonna, as I do that, throw the flyer on him. On
Excellent.
the bats.
Excellent. They're not going anywhere, so you clearly can hit one of the bats, which immediately bursts into remarkable flame. Far more like you have a burning piece of paper. There's like a little lick of fire along the side of it, but once it lands on that bat, the bat just goes up like flash paper.
Could I theoretically, as an expert marksman, have gunpowder on hand?
I mean, we established the vehicles in the car. If nothing else, you can pop a bullet out and drain some gunpowder into your hand.
All right, I'm gonna pocket sand part 2 from that when it's my turn.
Yeah. If that's your plan, and Hassan, you don't have anything that should come before, then I
No,
would
don't
like
think
to
so.
pass the turn to Legge.
Yeah, that's fine.
Excellent. Let's have you make a firearms roll to make sure you can disassemble the bullet without like any sort of mishap happening. It's going to be probably, if you're trying to disassemble a bullet with bare hands, it's probably going to be a +2 difficulty of 2.
Okay.
But yeah, it'd be firearms. I would assume might, but I'm happy to listen to arguments for an alternative one.
Even though I am from Texas, I really don't know that much about guns, so I'll take might.
You're putting people to shame.
With like these gel nails trying to pop this bullet.
Well, I know about nails, but so if I have acrylics, does that add to it? No. Let's see what that gives me.
Oh yeah, so it's
I'm still doing okay. Yeah.
yeah, 5 successes. So even with the difficulty, you absolutely are able to pop the actual shell off the bullet top and just sort of sprinkle the remaining gunpowder on the bats. You'll need to introduce an accelerant to that gunpowder, but all of the bats are now effectively explosive.
Oh no. I think I've seen something before.
That brings us around to Hassan. Even if you give... Stefan is effectively taken out at this point, so he's not going anywhere. Is Hassan going to just wait, get the car started and wait for the rest of the group to get in, or?
Yeah, basically just let me warm up the engine.
Excellent. You kick the car on. Car is moving. We go back to the top of the order.
I have matches.
You do have matches. If no one has any objection, it's really I'm not going to make you roll to strike a match and drop it on. Huh?
Like
just like a little match trick, just flick.
Yeah, just like if I can do that without rolling, I would like to ask fancifully.
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, you flick the match. It lands on the remaining bats and or matches, I should say. Land on the remaining bats, and the bats burst into flames. Congratulations, you have defeated Stefan. He is no longer a threat. And
Elisha grins maniacally as a fire burns.
Glorious. And that is where we're going to take our little biological and technological break. So if you're watching live, feel free to hang out. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. If you're watching this on VOD, hit fast forward till you see our pretty faces again, and then we'll be back then. All right. Back momentarily.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path, where we are gathered to play Scion, A Night at the Club. I do want to remind you all that this is an adventure for Scion Origin. This is designed to be able to function with Origin level characters. I'm going to toss a link to Origin itself right there in the old chat. I also want to let you know that we are using the official Roll20 supplements for Scion, the official compendiums. Those are available on Roll20 as well as directly at DriveThruRPG. You can pick them up now. And there's a link to that. And of course, you can get the adventure at the club.
Ren, check your Discord DMs.
A night at the club, I should say. Right here. So I also want to remind you all, because I forgot to mention it at the top of the game, that we are currently crowdfunding for Trinity Continuum Aegis. That is up on BackerKit right now. We have reached our base funding and are well into stretch goals. So if you've not yet checked it out, please go ahead and do so. And I will be running an actual play of Aegis on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I do believe. So let us dive back into our tale. You have all managed to defeat Stefan, pile into your vehicles, and Liv gives you directions to a small community garden that's not far from Sirens. Next to that community garden is a little apartment that she takes you into. And once inside, she offers each of you, can I get you anything to drink? Some tea, some water? I think I might have some beer in there, maybe.
Got some liquor left?
So they don't have any hard stuff. I've got some cider. She comes out and brings some apple cider, some hard apple cider, and says, I want to thank you all so much for helping me. I was in pretty bad shape. That Stefan guy is a vampire. He's fed on my people's blood at some point in the past, and I think he thinks it's a delicacy. He started stalking me about 3 nights ago. I noticed him following me several times. And tonight, he really seemed like he was trying to catch up to me, so I ducked into the club for help. Fortunately, I was able to, I guess, smell something special about you. And that's what led me to ask you for aid. You have an air of divinity about you.
I think that's maybe the problem.
Well, I wouldn't call it a problem. It definitely helped me out, and I can't thank you enough. So, I mean, is there anything that I can do for you, or any way I can repay you for your kindness?
We didn't do anything special. We just whacked at a bat.
Well,
Didn't even nick us.
You did that, Alicia.
Yeah, it was whack a flying thing with a hammer. It didn't even hit us. It did nothing. So, hey, consider it a favor from my part. If somebody else wants something, that's their thing.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just out some candy and a bullet. I can replace that myself. Thank you.
Yeah, we got a
Sure.
fireworks show.
That's fair. How about you? She says to Hassan. And at this point, too, by the way, you all have now clearly seen the cowtail sweeping under her skirts.
Jimmy.
I basically just offered right. It's honestly nothing you should be thankful for.
Are you kidding me? You kept me from getting eaten by a vampire. That is not a small deal.
Firework is fun.
Well, You definitely have my gratitude, and I will tell my people uh, of your bravery and your kindness.
Wait, hold on. A question. You might be able to help me with something.
Sure.
Your people, how do I subtly say this? What region are you from? Both like geographically and pantheonically?
Well, I mean, I am originally from Detroit, but my people, uh, we generally draw from the northern lands. Um, we're what's called Halder folk. We are connected to nature, and many of us spend our lives in what we, I guess, would refer to as you might call strange places or unusual areas. I've heard various terms thrown about them. Little secret offshoots of the world, you might say.
Can
This
I try to wrap my brain to what she's referring to?
um
Occult, perhaps, or
sure,
just...
go ahead and make an occult check.
All right. Occult and
This would probably be intelligence.
yeah, I'm not
Because
confused with cunning.
you're not doing like a I need to know this answer right now, right?
Yeah, so that is 3 for occult and 2 for intellect, because the 3 fates are not only in Roman or in Greek, they're also in Norse mythology pictured as 3 women.
Sure, absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Y'all know my aunties? And it's 2 successes.
Okay. Yeah, so you're aware that several sort of belief structures and pantheons have some kind of mythic, unusual places among them. In terms of the holders themselves, let's see. Give me half a second here. They tend to be more of Scandinavian origin, so probably most connected to like I would say the Aesir, more a little bit more than the than like Greek mythology. They would almost be parallel to what would be a satyr, though they tend to be a little bit less, as far as you know anyway. The legends and lore around Halders, they're a lot less jovial and party oriented than satyrs might be. Right.
Less Bacchial.
Right. Less bacchanalian, absolutely.
That word, English. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the info. You say something about divinity to all of us. Huh?
Yes, I think you might be maybe saints or maybe you're scions. I'm not sure, but I can definitely
Built like a goddess.
I'm just built like him.
That's fair. I could definitely smell the divine on you. And
Sweat.
the strangest thing when the reason I picked the club in the first place was because as I was making my way there, I saw 3 birds sort of fly up perch just above the door and then scatter. I was just running, not running necessarily, but I was evading through the streets trying to get away from Stefan when I saw that, so I took it as a sign, and turns out it paid off.
You do this auspexy. You do fortune telling with birds?
I don't particularly engage in fortune telling necessarily, but I know an omen when I see one.
Just the number 3 has been following me for a while, and if I may also, and I take my scissors out. They're like these, those old scissors that let's like a pincher like this. The 2 sides. They're plated. Chaz described it to me last time. They're plated in gold, and they've got rhinestones in them, actual jewel stones, actually.
Okay.
Like the most bougie pair of scissors you've ever seen. And I put them on the table. Anything divine about this, or is it just got like a thing on it that it always keeps returning to me?
Oh, I can definitely sense divinity on those.
Divine scissoring, lovely.
That is in fact what she said.
That took a while to register.
Says, yeah. And which, remind me, which pantheon are you connected with?
I chose the Greek,
Okay.
3 fates. But the pattern of 3 fates does repeat in some other pantheons, so it might ring the tiniest of bells, because they also snip the line of life with scissors.
Sure. No, she says, no, they smell very much like olive.
Olive?
Yeah, you don't smell that?
No. Well, I did get COVID, and that took out most of my smelling, so maybe that
might do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
To
smell?
afford the mask.
I go to the other feet. Do you smell olives on this?
I would assume.
But do we?
None of you have the divine neck.
Get the scissors out of my face.
I have Master of the World.
I don't think I do.
She says, I can smell it plain as day, but I think that's probably due to my otherworldly nature, you might say.
Thank you for the info. It's really, really valued. And I put the scissors back in their little pocket.
Of course, happily. And if there's any questions that you have for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Are we going back to the bar?
I mean, I don't know if we should go back to the bar tonight. I would assume that we drew some attention to ourselves.
Yes. How can we help other people like you?
Oh, well, I mean, I would say the best thing that you can do for me and my people is, protect nature, keep things clean. We watch over various places. The community garden outside of my apartment is my protectorate, I guess. So if you can keep anyone away from it, any dangers away from it, that would be greatly appreciated.
You should trim some trees, snip, snip.
I do all of the groundskeeping, but I absolutely would appreciate, if you see anything unusual or anyone unusual around here, steering them clear of it. That would be a huge help.
Hassan nervously sipping tea as he remembers literally starting today. throwing a cigarette on the ground.
I assume, though, that Stefan wasn't the only one. There's got to be more like him.
You know, he's the only vampire I've ever encountered. I don't know much about them, but I did notice the second night that he was following me, he stopped to talk to an elderly woman. I took notice of it because it was bizarre. I was going through the big park near the river, and it was night, and there was this elderly woman, probably in her 60s, maybe 70s, sitting on the bench. That I didn't even notice as I was approaching. I was preoccupied because I was being chased by a walking corpse. But I noticed him. He kind of stopped dead in his tracks and popped down and sat down with her. Now I did notice she was wearing a like a brooch. I've seen it before. It's this cult. Very minor, but some friends of mine back in Michigan ran into them. They call themselves the Deicide Compact. And I don't know if you've heard of them or not, but they are a group. They basically kind of harass, and some say even assault people like you, people that have an air of divinity.
So we're getting hate crimed.
You're getting
Yes,
kind.
great.
And for lack of a better word, I'm not quite sure what their motivations are or anything. I know I've seen a little bit of news about them around. There was a YouTube video I saw. They were talking about various violent acts that have been linked to the cult, but I don't think anything's ever been successfully prosecuted.
Well, that's certainly something to keep an eye out for. Thanks for the warning.
Sure. In fact, I can draw. She walks over to like a end table and pulls out like a little sketchbook and a pen and draws you this symbol. Looks like a dagger stabbing like a crescent moon.
Ominous.
This is what the brooch looked like. She hands it to you. So maybe keep an eye out for that,
Okay.
But otherwise, I guess aside from my hospitality, there's nothing else I can really give you. You have my absolute gratitude for helping you.
Yeah.
If you need help sorting out what this sort of scent is that's coming off of you, what your connection is with the divine, I can ask around. I can try to get some favors.
Well, I know what's going on with me, but I'm always up for more information. I'd love to learn more.
Sure, absolutely. If you hear anything else about vampires, please let me know as well.
I can certainly put some research into that. Help you out. Do what I can to protect this place. Maybe, and this is just me shooting from the hip, but maybe you should plant some garlic.
I've heard worse ideas.
Or get a
Garlic bread.
flamethrower.
I don't think a flamethrower would do well in my community garden. I would hate to shoot a stream of flame out the window and burn down my neighborhood. That would probably be bad.
Actually, flamethrowers are really commonly used by gardeners to kill weeds on the sidewalks, so it's not out of the ordinary.
I suppose that's fair. I tend to rely more on manual engagement, getting my hands dirty.
You could try having a holy water mister.
Oh, that would be funny. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wait.
Yes.
Wait, if we're touched by the divine, can we make holy water?
I mean, I would assume so. I'm I'm not sure if you're saints or scions or just have had a close run-in with something extremely powerful, but all of you have some degree of divine energy sort of wafting off of you.
Oh, I was chosen. I know what I am. But yeah,
I
no, I've got to get back to the lab.
Oh, so
need a
you,
lift.
yeah.
What did you say, honey?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, so you know what you are?
Yeah, I've known since I was 8.
Well, then, I mean, you must all be. I mean, it's each of you has a distinct feel, but you must all be the same
Alessia
thing.
just looks confused as hell what this is all going about. Like, the only thing she understands is that I stink divine,
Wait a
and
minute, wait
it's
a minute.
weird.
You guys didn't know?
Know what?
Oh,
Um,
okay. All right.
I just got diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
Oh, honey, no.
Bullshit. You know, I mean, they
Oh
might have
my
a point.
God.
These are the voices inside of your head.
I literally like bonk myself in the head, like
Okay.
shut
Tell her to take
up.
her medicine. Tell her to take her medicine. No, don't let her take the medicine. It'll make us quiet.
can
You're not
I?
you're not no, you're not paranoid schizophrenic. Okay. Well, that explains some things. Ah, okay, yeah. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know if I should be the one to break this to you.
No, please bring this to me. I like knowing things.
Okay, well, I personally am a Scion. I was chosen by Agni as an infant, and I have been raised and trained my entire life to be his javelin of justice, to purify the world in grand flames of knowledge and purity. Yeah, that's me. I'm the great spear of Agni. Yeah.
Alessia looks at you with great aura of mistrust and like, you're a lunatic. The fuck are you talking about?
As you're looking over at her with this sense of disbelief, you're tapped on the shoulder by a cow's tail, and and Liv says it's not as outlandish as it sounds.
No. You hear voices?
I don't hear voices.
No, your companion.
Oh yeah, Cass, she's insane.
No, she's not. She's not insane. How many voices are they?
3.
Always
I'm
3?
gonna try. Hold on. And you see Cass basically like dissociating, but more fantasy style. So like head reeling back and trying to catch the exact parts, because sometimes Cass thinks or likes to makes themselves believe that it's only one or something, getting gaslit into being mentally insane. And in this monotone voice while reeling back, 3 voices, one old, one fertile, one young.
Yeah, that could.
Was it even
Yeah.
They're
me?
doing the thing again. Maybe I should whack him
Huh?
on the head again.
Huh?
No. Let it go. Let him cook. Okay, so 3 voices. One old, one fertile, and one young. That could be a couple different things. But if Liv here is saying it's olive oil, I would lean more towards the Grecian pantheon. And maybe you might want to pop into the local temple, see if there's any, I don't know, mysteries that can unwind your brain.
Yes, go to the temple, the oldest voice says. The middle voice says, no, she's not ready. She's not ready to go to the temple. She can't go to the temple yet. The youngest says, I don't want to go to the temple. What if they make us go away? But they might take her off the drugs, and then if they take her off the drugs, then there'll be more.
More voices?
Don't tell her that. You're tricking her. She's tricking you. I'm not tricking you.
So sorry, they're arguing. They're like, I like to sometimes describe them, especially when I'm cooking, as 3 drunk wine ants.
Yeah,
Because they all have their favorite condiment, and if I don't eat one of their favorite condiments, they become like irate.
that tracks. I was raised by a priest, so this is not particularly new or unusual to me, but I can kind of imagine that coming into this world is a little shocking.
I would imagine so, Liv says, and she uh, comes back in with 2 more mugs of hard cider, one in her hands, one in her tail, and the one in her tail she hands off to Alessia.
A drink.
He says, "I too was born in this world, so it all seems second nature to me. You've been awfully quiet, Hassan. Are you okay?"
I'm fine. This is just. How should I say this? You're selling. You're all selling all these different things. I don't mind people believing what they do, but I think you're highly exaggerating who I am.
I I can't believe we've known each other this long and you haven't figured it out yet.
Listen, I'm just someone trying to get by, trying to trying to get by doing what they can. I'm not some, what did you call it? Scion?
Liv
Um,
like crouches down in front of you. I assume you're sitting down, right?
yeah,
Um,
it's like, or I guess the way the token is just standing on the side.
so Liv walks over and like takes one of your hands in both of her hands and says, "You saved me from a walking, blood drinking corpse. That doesn't strike you as heroic? That doesn't strike you as being above average? Do you think I'd still be here drawing breath if I'd have just grabbed some rando from the club?"
Listen, I am was a doctor, currently still applying for a new license. I have I have heard those words many times from many people. Secondhand trying to help now. I I don't want to make you sound bad, but I helped you because that's common decency. I didn't do anything but bring you to my car. Everyone else protected you.
It's true. But I didn't approach you because you have a decent face, though you do. I didn't. I didn't approach you because you have a calming demeanor, though you do. I approached you because I smelled the divine on you. I approached you because when I sniff the air around you, I can get an odor of burning amber. I can feel just a little bit of electricity in the air around you. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you'll come to it in time.
It'll be what it is. For
Yeah.
now,
Just live your life.
It really doesn't change anything about who any of you are. Knowing just sort of gives you a context in which to work with.
Ashmi, I'm gonna introduce you to a very weird concept now.
Okay.
Do you know what a cognito hazard is?
Using
Educate
difficult
me.
words again.
Sorry, I'll explain. Sometimes knowing certain things or accepting certain things at certain points in your life,
Mhm.
especially when they're not timed well, um, have an adverse effect.
I mean, sure. This knowledge is yours to do with what you will. You don't have to look into it. You don't have to go to a temple. Hassan, you don't have to investigate why you smell like burnt amber and lightning. It's just a part of who you are.
Maybe get new deodorant.
Been looking.
Eau d'olive.
Liv says,
Listen, I'm not trying to dismay or make it seem like I'm looking down on anyone here. But I've personally seen what happens when you go too far in something you really shouldn't. If it's great you think so highly of me, ma'am. But I'm just someone, just a cab driver right now.
Liv nods and she says, "That's fair, but I'll say this, and then I'll stop eating up your evenings. Um, if I could sense you, others might be able to sense you. And if Stefan was in fact tight with a cult who has a problem with scions or saints or whatever is touched by the divine, you might be in direct danger from that. I mean, you might be in. I don't know anything about Stefan other than that we had met, that he was very flirtatious, but he came off like a creeper. So I avoided him and then have been avoiding him for days. But he might have friends, and those friends might be able to tell what happened to him.
If, yeah, you're gonna be a target. And but you three have something that I never did. You have a choice to make right now. You can choose not to look into this. That's a perfectly valid option. But it's not going to go away.
No, if anything, if you really have been leading mundane existences up to this point, you helping me choosing you, might well have made it worse.
I'm perfectly happy to try and help you guys figure this out, even though I really don't know that much about the other pantheons. But I will help you.
Nah, I'm fine. I'll just go whack those cult people on the head because always in for a good fight. That's just what I want to do. Fight people.
Yeah, that's a choice. Yeah. But if you learn more about this, you can actually learn to fight better and more effectively.
But I'm here to fight, not to learn. Learning is Cass's thing.
Right? But you could, I don't know, what are the legends? If you're a descendant of Thor, maybe you can hammer better. That would be nice. Or throw hammers and then fly. I don't know. I've only seen the movies. I don't.
I am great because I am me. I'm not great because I'm a descendant of some wanky moron that is divine.
But you could, or you could. I don't know. I don't know what you smell like. That's a weird thing to say, though, isn't it? Anyway.
Also, smells of olive.
Okay. Thanks. Gosh, this is a weird conversation to have. Anyway.
So whose smell rubbed off on who?
Well, it depends on who was rubbing what.
I told you not. I told you to put
Wording.
hair oil in your hair and not olive oil, Alessia.
Oil is oil.
No, it's not.
It's not, but it won't hurt to at least ask the question, could I do more? Can I be better? I mean, you want to fight, maybe you can hit with fire hammer. I am really grasping for straws here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, then go grasp your straws. You do your thing with your being a spear and whatever.
A javelin, yeah.
Yeah,
The flaming
stick.
javelin of Agni. Yes, please.
Yes, flaming stick.
Hey,
Good on you.
So, question.
Sure.
My character should know a bit about specifically Norse mythology.
I mean, not necessarily. If you've not had your visitation yet, you might not know anything about it at all.
I'm just going off of something that's in that backstory you gave
Sure,
me.
it's quite possible that you do. Yeah.
Can I roll occult or something to see if I would know something about Thor specifically that might be relevant here?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Go ahead and roll occult and either intellect or cunning.
Same. Two success.
Okay. I mean, Thor is, you definitely, there is obviously the association with Mjolnir, draws an immediate sort of spark to your mind. The idea that the first thing that they grabbed when violence popped off was a hammer might be something, but that also feels like it might be a bit of a stretch for you.
All right. How about this? He stands up, pulls up a couple of cards from like his in the best pocket. If I'm a cab driver but I'm technically still trying to get my license, but I used to be surgeon. If any of you need to have some air or need medical advice, you can call this. And if for some reason this morgue is going to happen, if it's really gonna get more difficult from here on, we can contact through that.
Yeah.
So you're passing your card out to everyone?
Yeah.
Are you giving a copy to Liv as well?
Yes.
Excellent.
And in case I want to know more, can I have your number?
She says,
Smooth.
sure, give me your phone.
Hands over like a slide up phone, basically.
Oh.
Another dinosaur.
Let's see. She types in her number. She puts Liv in, and then like winky emoji, heart emoji, like I don't know. Is there a cow emoji? I don't know.
Yes,
There is.
There is. Hassan's gonna go on a rodeo.
Yeah. Hassan knows what's up.
8 seconds to glory.
And then she says, again, I can't thank you enough. And she kisses you on the cheek and then says, but I don't want to ruin your night. So if you all want to go back out and finish partying, you're welcome to. I'm going to sleep because running from a vampire is exhausting.
Fair.
I'll pop by in the next couple days just to check on you, make sure nothing happens.
Excellent.
And I'll bring Hassan with me.
I guess I don't have a choice in the matter. Do any of you need help getting home?
Nope, got my car.
No, should be fun.
You are my ride, so yes.
All right, let's go then.
Excellent. And on that note, we draw a close on a night at the club. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's session?
Was the fun supposed to go down that fluently? Or did we just really luck out? Or
You just were smart and lucked out and had fire. Like the fact that you had fire on you is a big deal. Yeah.
You gave me 3 matches. No,
Hey, that definitely did not hurt you.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, it worked out.
The vampire was not as much the threat as I think it should have been.
Yeah, you could certainly, you could certainly have ratcheted that up as well. But also, it's designed to be vampires. Technically, he's a little bit weak for a vampire in Scion. They're technically designed to be enemies at hero level. So I nerfed him a little bit. But I think all things considered, it went pretty well. I'm fairly happy with how it turned out.
I know he's gonna get his big brother on us.
Right, exactly. And having said that, maybe at some point in the near future we can swing back around and revisit these characters. I think we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. So I would
that was definitely a lot of fun.
I would definitely be open to doing so.
Same.
Well, on that note, there's a couple things I should probably remind everybody of before we hop off. One last time, I want to make sure everybody's aware that we are currently raising funds for Trinity Continuum Aegis. That is over on BackerKit. I'm throwing the link in the chat now. If you head over there, you can get access to the manuscript early, get involved on helping us raise for stretch goals. We've currently funded the book. So yeah, thanks so much for the hydrate, by the way. I will do so right now.
That was me.
Appreciate it. But
Drink, God damn it.
yeah, I want to just implore you to please check that out if you haven't done so. Aegis is Trinity Continuum set in the time of antiquity, just after the Bronze, or just during the Bronze Age collapse. So lots of fun stuff, lots of cool fantasy flavored sci-fi going on with that. So definitely head over and check that out. I also want to remind you that tonight we've been using Scion via Roll20. That is available for purchase right through drive-through, actually. They've added several Roll20 products over at drive-through RPG, not the least which is Scion. So head over there and check it out. And then I also would implore you to check out A Night at the Club so you can see just how lucky they got and how dangerous the vampire is. That's available over at Drive-Thru RPG as well.
You are not guaranteed to body the vampire. Don't blame us.
You're not guaranteed to body the vampire.
But if you have candy and fire, maybe you get lucky.
Candy and vampire, all you need.
Exactly.
We found the speedrun tactic, guys.
You did good. I'm proud of you. It did run about the amount of time that I figured it was going to be. It's designed to run from 2 to 3 hours. So you all did a very good job. And once again, this one is designed to run strictly with Origin, which is available also at Drive-Thru RPG and should be available at your friendly local gaming store. Before we run off, I just want to once again thank everyone who's watching live, thank everyone who is on the screen, and thank everybody who's watching on VOD. If you've not yet done so, please consider following and subscribing to our Twitch channel. Subs get exclusive access to VODs for a week most of the time. Once in a while, like during a crowdfunding campaign, things might go over to the YouTube channel a little bit early, but generally it's a week of exclusive access. Before we run out, want to give everybody once again a chance to just tell us who they are, what they do, anything that they would care to share, and just your final thoughts on today's session. So we'll go in reverse order of last time. So please, if you would, Jowsy, please tell us who you are, what you do, and your pronouns and your thoughts on today's session.
All right, Josie, they them, playing Cass for the second time along Alesha. And yeah, it was fun. Different than what Chaz run, but it both had its unique flavor to it. What do I do? I make promo for Onyx Path sometimes on TikTok, like the Zoomer I am.
And it's much appreciated. Thank you.
I make some music, and I forgot to promote this, but a little crossover. I am also a voice actor in the online audio drama Her Crown of Fire. An audio drama adapted from a book. New episodes are releasing pretty soon, and if you like if you like the concept of the lesbian love interest, you're gonna like me.
Excellent. And where can people find that?
Spotify and other podcasting platforms. It's totally free to listen to.
Awesome. Rock and roll. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I'll definitely have to check that out. I appreciate that. Next up, Camber, your pertinence, please.
Yeah, Gambler, pronouns he, him, and it was my first time being here. First time even doing, I think the second time actually doing this kind of uh session, and it was great fun. Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
very enjoyable with all here.
I'm glad you had a good time.
If I ever see y'all again, that would be great. And yeah, you cannot follow me anywhere because I try to be invisible.
It's a good plan. I endorse it. And this was your first time playing Scion, correct?
Yes, it was, and with the previous character, it was enjoyable, even if I didn't actually do that much.
No, I think it was. I think you did great. It was a lot of fun to play with you, and you're always welcome back at my tables. Thank you so much for being here. Next up, Ren, your pertinence, please.
Yes, yeah, my name is Ren, Datum, and I had so much fun once again playing Alicia, the scion of Lissa, the goddess of mania and rabies. They will never accept that you're a scion, ever. But not really anywhere you can like follow me because I am boring. And just follow Josie.
That's
They're the star.
that's another way of saying smart. But
And I hope that you're gonna see my face here more on Scion because I am enjoying it a lot.
I'm glad to hear it.
Once again, thanks for Travis, our glorious storyteller, who did the most work.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a privilege and an honor to be able to do so. And last but not least, that brings us around to Lee. Your pertinence, please.
I am Lee. I use any pronouns because I am much older than most people here and have been on the internet for so long that I'm used to the anonymity. I can be found here on the Onyx Path channel doing interviews and actual plays from time to time. My most recent one was actually to promote Aegis for Trinity, which is, I think it's over a week now, so you should be able to find it on the YouTube channel.
I do believe, yeah. I think wasn't that at Onyx PathCon? I think all of the Onyx PathCon. Oh, you're talking about the Q&A.
The Q&A. I did the Q&A.
That should be on the YouTube now. The first Writers Circle. We did another one this week, but the first one should be up on YouTube right now.
Yeah, but I also did the actual play for Onyx Path. So, I've done some writing and play testing and things here and there, but I'm just sort of peripheral to the whole business.
Well, we deeply appreciate your contributions. It's very, very helpful.
Anytime, always happy.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll talk off camera. Maybe we can find another time that we can get together and see what's next in store for this this band of Scions. But in the meantime, I would just like to remind everyone to make sure you get your shots and wash your hands and all that fun stuff. There's still a terrible disease moving around. And as the late Jerry Springer used to say, yes, that's the disease. And as the late Jerry Springer used to say, be good to yourselves and each other. We'll see you again next time. I'll be back here on the channel Sunday at I believe 8 Eastern for session 0 of Aegis. See you then.
Bye-bye.